Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, welcome to Learner Competitive Exams. Today we will discuss Pakistan Affairs. आज का हमारा टॉपिक पाकिस्तान अफेयर का इम्पोर्टेंट फॉरेन पॉलिसी ऑफ पाकिस्तान पोस्ट 9/11 सिनेरियो। पाकिस्तान की फॉरेन पॉलिसी को देखें तो पोस्ट 9/11 के बाद पाकिस्तान की फॉरेन पॉलिसी कैसे रही है, आज हम ये डिस्कस करेंगे। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल फॉरेन पॉलिसी को डिफ़ाइन करें तो प्रोफेसर टेलर ने, जो इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस के स्कॉलर हैं, उन्होंने डिफ़ाइन किया है कि फॉरेन पॉलिसी ऑफ अ सॉर्ट विच विल गो ऑन सो लॉन्ग एज आर सवेरियन स्टेट्स। जॉर्ज मेडलिकोसी ने फॉरेन पॉलिसी इज़ द सिस्टमैटिक एक्टिविटीज़ इवॉल्व कम्युनिटीज़ फॉर चेंजिंग द बिहेवियर ऑफ अदर स्टेट्स for adjusting their own activities in an international environment. प्रोफेसर जोसेफ फ्रैम्केल ने डिफ़ाइन किया है कि फॉरेन पॉलिसी कंसिस्ट ऑफ डिसीजंस एंड एक्शन विच इन्वॉल्व टू सम अप्रिशिएटेबल extent relation between states and others. रूडी ने foreign policy involves the implementation of a group principles which shape the behavior pattern of a state which negotiation with other state to protect or further its interest. तो ये कुछ स्कॉलर्स के अकॉर्डिंग फॉरेन पॉलिसी की डेफिनेशन थी। नेक्स्ट, द स्ट्रेटजी ऑफ अ स्टेट फॉर डीलिंग विद द अदर स्टेट्स, systematic way to deal with international issues. Foreign policy is an extension of internal and domestic policies. तो फॉरेन पॉलिसी का एक ओवरव्यू लेते हैं। इट इज़ द कम्बिनेशन ऑफ रूल्स, रेगुलेशंस एंड प्रिंसिपल थ्रू विच एन इंडिपेंडेंट स्टेट एस्टेब्लिश relationship with other states. The principles of foreign policy are not perpetual, but some of them hold prime importance. In international relations, there is no enduring animosity or friendship but the national interest. Foreign policy not only affects neighboring countries but also neighboring countries accept its effect. Foreign policy is the legislative and diplomacy is the executive phase of the foreign relation of a country. Foreign policy is designed to protect and promote national interest of home. Domestic policy is an integral part. Different phases of foreign policy की बात करें, foreign policy is the name of running country's affair, including maintain the relationship between one country to another, safeguarding the interests of country, keeping the state safe and secure. It's an attitude of the country through which one country holds safeguarding the interests of its own interests from other countries. Sources of foreign policy की बात करें तो external sources में internal geopolitics, international geopolitics, interaction between states and non-state actors. रियलिस्टिक इंटरनेशनल रिलेशन को देखें तो यूरोपियन यूनियन और नेटो। सोसाइटल सोर्सेज में देखें तो डोमेस्टिक सोशल एंड पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम शेप्ड बाय हिस्ट्री आइडियोलॉजी लाइक मैनिफेस्ट डायनेस्टी, प्रो कैपिटलिज्म, फॉरेन पॉलिसी। गवर्नमेंटल सोर्सेज को देखें तो फॉरेन पॉलिसी शेप्ड बाय द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट, डिक्टेटेड बाय द गवर्नमेंट, पोस्ट 9/11 यूएस फॉरेन पॉलिसी। इंडिविजुअल सोर्स को देखें तो व्हेन स्किल, टैलेंट, प्रायर एक्सपीरियंसेस, पर्सनल डिसीजन ऑफ अ पर्सन डिटरमाइन शेप ऑफ पॉलिसी। Musharraf's decision to join international war on terror, Bush invasion of Iraq and later justifications. Role sources की बात करें, impact of office on foreign policy makers, extension or alteration of existing policy, यूएस अफगान फॉरेन पॉलिसी। इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ फॉरेन पॉलिसी की बात करें, इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल टू सेफ गार्ड द कंट्रीज इंटरेस्ट अनलेस necessary policies and strategies are to be formed, which is the result of adopting firm and practical foreign policy to attain honor and security of one state and its political stability from other states. डिटर्मिनेंट ऑफ फॉरेन पॉलिसी इन पाकिस्तान की बात करें, एक्सटर्नल डिटर्मिनेंट्स हैं। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल पावर स्ट्रक्चर, के पावर स्ट्रक्चर क्या होता है, इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का रोल क्या है पाकिस्तान की फॉरेन पॉलिसी में, रिएक्शन ऑफ अदर स्टेट्स, वर्ल्ड पब्लिक ओपिनियन, के वर्ल्ड की पॉपुलर पब्लिक ओपिनियन पाकिस्तान के बारे में क्या है, और पाकिस्तान के अलायंसेस कौन से हैं, कैसे हैं। ये चीज़ें एक्सटर्नल डिटर्मिनेंट्स में आती हैं कि पाकिस्तान की फॉरेन पॉलिसी कैसे रीशेप होती है। अब इंटरनल डिटर्मिनेंट्स की बात करें, इंटरनल डिटर्मिनेंट्स में हिस्टोरिकल इन्फ्लुएंस आ जाता है, साइज एंड इट्स जियोग्राफी, नेचुरल रिसोर्सेस, इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट, इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट, मिलिट्री पावर, पॉपुलेशन साइज, गुड गवर्नेंस या स्टाइल ऑफ गवर्नेंस, क्वालिटी ऑफ डिप्लोमेसी, पॉलिटिकल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, पब्लिक ओपिनियन, रोल ऑफ मीडिया एंड थिंक टैंक्स। तो ये डिटर्मिनेंट्स ऑफ फॉरेन पॉलिसी ऑफ पाकिस्तान है। फॉरेन पॉलिसी बिटवीन टू स्टेट्स की यार्डस्टिक्स इसमें कौन कौन सी होती हैं, इकोनॉमिक एंड मिलिट्री मसल्स ऑफ बोथ कंट्रीज, एरियाज ऑफ कन्वर्जेंस, मीटिंग ऑफ माइंड्स, एरियाज ऑफ डाइवर्जेंस, कन्फ्लिक्ट्स ऑफ इंटरेस्ट। ये 3 की फैक्टर्स होते हैं जो कि टू स्टेट्स के दरमियान फॉरेन पॉलिसी को डिफाइन करते हैं। नेक्स्ट, इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ फॉरेन पॉलिसी को देखें। फॉरेन पॉलिसी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन मेथडोलॉजीज में कौन कौन सी चीज़ें आती हैं। सबसे पहले पॉलिटिकल मेथड होता है, साइकोलॉजिकल मेथड है, इकोनॉमिकल मेथड्स, मिलिट्री मेथड्स और कल्चरल मेथड्स हैं। अब 1 by 1 इनको डिस्कस करते हैं। व्हाट इज़ पॉलिटिकल मेथड्स ऑफ फॉरेन पॉलिसी। States adopt effective political methods to justify their own foreign policy. In this way, the government and its representatives, such as ambassadors of sovereign states, understand the point of view of other countries' representatives and try to make them convinced. They also try to develop political and military interests, trade relations, the agreement on regional and internal affairs. Such policy represents good foreign policy. Next है psychological methods, propaganda and psychological warfare इसमें आती है। Through this way, local, international media and mass communication are utilized for molding the opinion of peoples in the favor of state. News channels play a vital role in this regard to promote the positive propaganda in the eyes of other countries such as Wall Street Journal, Voice of America and Incredible India. Economic methods की बात करें, sticks and carrot method 2 मेथड हैं, either promoting international trade relation or imposing sanctions. By this way, state can find out favorable market for the products through ambassador. Through this way, the established economical relations. The point is to showcase country products in international market to aware people so that they take interest in their products and boost sales. This leads to growth in agricultural, industrial establishment and advancement, which will have trickle-down effect on the economy of state. This further leads to international friendship. Next, military methods. This is more of cruel and power-imposing technique on other country. गनबोट डिप्लोमेसी भी कहा जाता है इसे। Countries' strong military power and self-defense mechanism further strengthen its foreign policy, but this particular technique is only used when interests are not fulfilled by peaceful methods. Next, cultural methods, softening of mutual hostilities, exchange of cultural delegations. Track 3, diplomacy, organizing supports activities. इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स ऑफ मॉडर्न फॉरेन पॉलिसी की बात करें तो मॉडर्न फॉरेन पॉलिसी में कौन कौन से इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स यूज़ होते हैं। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, डिप्लोमेसी, द रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ अ गवर्नमेंट टू अदर फॉरेन गवर्नमेंट। देन यूनाइटेड नेशन comprised of 193 countries, each of which gets one vote. इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स ऑफ मॉडर्न फॉरेन पॉलिसी में यूएन बड़ा इम्पोर्टेंट रोल प्ले करती है। इकॉनमिक एड की बात करें तो अमेरिका प्रोवाइड्स $30 billion a year to other countries. Carrot, positive incentives, benefits to get countries to take desired actions that US prefers. तो ये कैरेट पॉलिसी भी कही जाती है। इकोनॉमिक सैंक्शन की बात करें तो स्टिक्स, नेगेटिव इंसेंटिव्स, पेनल्टीज, जैसा कि ईरान पे हैं, टू गेट कंट्रीज टू टेक डिजायर्ड एक्शन दैट यूएस प्रेफर। ट्रेड एम्बार्गोज, बैन ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट, बैन ऑन ट्रेवल, फ्रीजिंग ऑफ एसेट हेल्ड इन बैंक्स। आजकल रशिया के हवाले से अमेरिकन पॉलिसी ये इकोनॉमिक सैंक्शन है या स्ट्रिक्ट फॉरेन पॉलिसी है। देन बैंक फॉर रिकंस्ट्रक्शन एंड डेवलपमेंट, वर्ल्ड बैंक, mechanism for government to lend money to one and other in ways that private sector market could not. International Monetary Fund IMF helps stressed nations borrow short-term fund. Collective security की बात करें, OAS, NATO, UNSUS और SETO. An armed attack against any of its members shall be considered as an attack against all. Arbitration agreement negotiated by neutral third party. Soft power as opposed to the military. Virtually all international contracts have arbitration. Foreign policy of Pakistan, अगर इसकी बात करें, historian Paul Kennedy named Pakistan as one of the 9 pivotal states whose future evolution would not only determine the fate of their region but also affect international stability. He maintains in this article in the Foreign Affairs Quarterly that progress by a pivotal state such as Pakistan would help not only the region but also promote US interest in trade and investment. Pakistan foreign policy seeks to protect, promote and advance Pakistan's national interests in the Committee of Nations. Foreign policy of Pakistan took new turn with the passage of time like other states including some permanent ideals. Strategic consideration for Pakistan की बात करें, Pakistan has one of the most complex threats analysis of any state in the world. In the north is China, 585 approximately kilometer long border and emerging economic giant. In the east, a state with vastly superior industrial resources and a much larger human base and intense conflicts with Pakistan over many issues, particularly Kashmir. In the west lies Iran, 805 kilometers long border and Afghanistan 2252 kilometer long common border dual line, never friendly and source of internal tension and domestic instability. To the south position Arabian Sea, approximately 700 km long, which is now currently 1046 km long, a gateway to Central Asian states through Gwadar port. Further, two of Pakistani provinces with vast population have strong ethnic and tribal ties across the border in Afghanistan, while on the Indian frontier there is unresolved dispute over the status of Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistan's domestic politics remains intimately linked to political relations with Pakistan's neighbors. Foreign policy of Pakistan, according to father of the nation, our foreign policy is one of the friendliness and goodwill toward all the nations of the world. We do not cherish aggressive design against any country or nation. We believe in the principle of honesty and fair play in the national and international dealings and are prepared to make our utmost contribution to the promotion of peace and prosperity among the nations of the world. Pakistan will never be found lacking in extending its material and moral support to the oppressed and suppressed people of the world, and in upholding the principles of the United Nations Charter. Principle of foreign policy of Pakistan in vision of Qaeda. First, national security and peaceful coexistence. Second, Pakistan will be non-alignment. Third, Pakistan holding United Nations Charter. Fourth, Pakistan always is on bilateralism. 5. Support to right of self-determination like Kashmir and Palestine. 6. Unity of Islamic world. 7. De-weaponization in the world. 8. Establishment of peace. 9. Good relations with neighbors. 10. International and regional cooperation. 11. Territorial integrity. These are the principles of foreign policy according to Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah's vision. Foreign policy of Pakistan cornerstones: first of all, integrity of state, then security of border, then development of state, then protecting the honor of state, then safeguarding the national interest, then independent Kashmir, then acquire peaceful methods while dealing with international conflicts, then balanced relationship with powerful states, then promote relationship with Muslim countries, then promote international peace. Foreign policy formulating agencies in Pakistan: first of all, administrative tracker, which is including President, Prime Minister, Chief of the Army Staff, then Ministry of Foreign Affairs, then intelligence agencies, then political parties and pressure groups, then last, Parliament. If we discuss evolution from 1947 to current, first phase 1947 to 53, which is exploration and friendship with all, then 1953 to 62, alignment with West, then second phase 1962 to 71, which is called transition phase, then 1972 to 79, bilateralism and non-alignment, 1980 to 90, Afghanistan and partnership with the United States, which is called Sino-Afghan War. Then third phase 1990 to 2001 post Cold War era and Pakistan dilemmas. Then 2001 onward counter-terrorism foreign policy. On behalf of these, first phase, which included 1 1947 to 53 exploration and friendship with all, second 1953 to 62 alignment with the West. Now we will discuss 1947 to 1953 exploration and friendship with all. Foundation of the foreign policy, relations with India, relations with Afghanistan, relations with USA and USSR, relations with Muslim countries. All these factors define friendship with all. Then we move toward 1953 to 62 alignment with the West. Alignment with the West, Mutual Defense Assistance Agreement, CETO, the Baghdad Pact or CENTO, defense and economic assistance from US, cost of alignment with the West, relations with China. Then the second phase, which included 1962 to 71, a transition period, 1972 to 79, bilateralism and non-alignment, 1980 to 90, Afghanistan and partnership with the United States. Now 1962 to 1971, which was called a transition period, rethinking about the alignment policy, improving relations with the Soviet Union, improving relations with China, diminishing ties with the US, pluralistic perspectives, relations with India, crisis in East Pakistan and international response. Then 1972 to 1979, bilateralism and non-alignment, Pakistan withdraw from Commonwealth and CETO, become a member of non-allied summit in 1979, East Pakistan break up as a separate state, India signed a peace agreement with Pakistan. Due to this breakup, Pakistan ties their relationship with China. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto visited to Russia to strengthen their relationship. Bhutto also visited United States with intention to strengthen the relationship between two countries. Due to Pakistan's nuclear project and burning down US embassy in 1979, their relationship was put to the lowest point. Then 1980 to 1990, Sino-Afghan War, Pakistan supported Afghanistan in Soviet invasion. Pakistan hosted Afghan refugees during this war. However, due to Soviet invasion, US supported Pakistan with military and finance. ISI of Pakistan and CIA and USA worked together in this period. China also assisted Pakistan during Afghan war with regard to financial and security matters. OIC supported Pakistan with finance for hosting refugees of Afghan war. During Afghan war, Indo-Pakistan relationship existed with negative and positive manner. Putting ending to the Afghan war, Pakistan, Russia, USA and Afghanistan signed Geneva Accord which was a result of United Nations interference. Then third phase started 1990 to 2001 post-Cold War era and Pakistan dilemmas, and 2001 onward counter-terrorism foreign policy. 1990 to 2001 post-Cold War era and Pakistan dilemmas and other drift in Pak-US relations, continuation of Afghan problem, insurgency in Kashmir, going nuclear. Then 2001 onward counter-terrorism, September 11 and fight against terrorism, increased US support, Pakistan's relation with China and Russia, Muslim world and Pakistan, drone strikes and covert warfare, national espionage. Post 9/11 US policy towards terrorism and its implications for Pakistan. Post 9/11 scenario, the event of 9/11 represent a critical threshold in Pakistan's foreign policy. Cold War proxies become reactivated in 2001. General Musharraf was among the first foreign leaders to have received a clarion call from Washington. You are either with us or against us, was the message. Pakistan faced the worst dilemma of its life. It did not know which way to go and which way not to. Terrorism became world's foremost and unifocal concern, transcending all other global challenges. US-Pakistan relations in historic perspective. Over the last 6 decades, relations between Pakistan and the US have seen many ups and downs, punctuated by intense engagement by and strong distinct estrangement. Each country has tried to influence other with its peculiar needs. Pakistan, once viewed as the most ally when suited to US interests in 1950s, became the most sanctioned ally of the USA in 90s. The intensity of relation varied from one extreme to that of completely ignoring the other, as in 1971, to that of urgent action, as was seen immediately after the invasion of Afghanistan by the Soviet Union in December 1979, or during the war on terror immediately after 9/11 2001. A new era of US-Pakistan relations started after the event of 9/11. Pakistan took a U-turn toward Afghanistan. Post 9/11 challenges faced by Pakistan. Pakistan faced worst dilemma of life. The important challenges faced by Pakistan in changed world scenario after 9/11 events were threat of US aggression, military and economic sanctions, Pakistan nuclear program, Kashmir issue, terrorism, Taliban calling a terrorist state a failed state or a safe haven for terrorism. The economy of Pakistan is a big question. Indo-US strategies and civil cooperation agreement, a 10-year defense pact, a nuclear agreement and agreement on civil nuclear cooperation. Then, first of all, Balochistan issue remained a major issue. Since the US invasion after Afghanistan, Balochistan is tending to acquire importance in the American policy of South Asia. Another aspect of Balochistan's strategic importance of the US is the role of China in deep sea Gwadar port. The US wants to delineate Chinese influence in the region by controlling the geostrategic location of Balochistan to access Central Asian states. Then economic challenges, trade deficit rose from $1.3 billion in the first quarter of fiscal year 2005 to $2.6 billion during the first quarter of fiscal year 2006. But economic growth GDP in fiscal year 2007 from 6.8% dropped to 2.5% in fiscal year 2013. Index of Economic Freedom has placed Pakistan on the 110th slot in 2006, considerably higher than the 133rd position on which it stood in 2005, while it again ranked on the 123rd in 2013. These worsening economic conditions are very hazardous for the stability of the states, and even there is an understanding among the enlightened Pakistan intelligentsia that the Pakistan's military force will not be strong if the country's economy and domestic health continue to deteriorate. Neutral estimate suggests that Pakistan has bore a loss of around $107 billion during war on terror in the post 9/11 scenario. And then nuclear proliferation issue, the US expressed serious concern regarding the authority of the control and command system and Pakistan's ability to protect its nuclear assets. Daily Dawn reported the arrival of arms control scientists in Islamabad to assess the foolproof measures for the protection and safety of nuclear installations. Then Kashmir issue, William E. Brown and Robert Windran, in their controversial book Critical Mass, had maintained that because of the Kashmir issue, South Asia is the most dangerous place on the earth. Giving unilateral concessions to India in Afghanistan is neither in the interest of Pakistan nor that of the Kashmiris. Then Islamic fundamentalism, some fraction of the society oppose President Musharraf's cooperation with Washington and the US presence in Pakistan and Afghanistan. This led some radical Muslims to call for Musharraf's assassination and an Islamic revolution in Pakistan. Then drone attack remained a bright question. Wrong attacks on our people by US-led forces have become daily routine. From 2004 to 2015, around such 310 incidents took place and about 3,400 persons were killed and injured respectively. It shows that Pakistan has failed in ensuring sovereignty to its citizens and territory. Suicide bombing that once targeted the American soldier and Western installations in Afghanistan has turned their gun toward Pakistan. Pakistani forces are fighting against terrorists and insurgents on its own soil. A proxy war is being fought on our soil, FATA and Balochistan. Increase in acts of terrorists within Pakistan. NATO supply route through Pakistan. NATO supply route through Pakistan. You can see alternative routes as well as current supply routes. Response to post 9/11 challenges in Musharraf onward 9/11 came as a thunderbolt, presenting acute challenge as well as opportunities for Pakistan joining the US-led anti-terrorist coalition reflected the major policy shift by withdrawing support from the Taliban. Pakistan can gain some benefits as the US has tried to balance its interests in South Asia by declaring Pakistan as its strategic partner, closest ally, and non-NATO ally. The fact of matter is that without Pakistan, assistant US will be unable to haunt the Al-Qaeda and Taliban elements. So it is the time to reconsider, reschedule and reframe the foreign policy of Pakistan in the context of internal needs and challenges. Divergent एंड नेगेटिविटीज़ को देखें तो डिवाइडेंड में आइसोलेशन, पारिया स्टेट, सैंक्शंस, एड, मेजर नॉन नेटो अलाय। नेगेटिविटीज़ में देखें तो यू टर्न, सवरेंटी गिवन, मुशर्रफ गिवन लेजिटिमेसी, नेटो रूल, कैप्चर 700 टेररिस्ट, आर्मी डिप्लॉय, ड्रोन्स, ऑपरेशन बैकफायर्ड पॉलिसी, do more Pantra, relations under stress with all, became our war, and now Zarb Azb. डायमेंशन को देखें तो सिक्योरिटी डायमेंशन में अफगान बॉर्डर, लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल, तालिबान स्प्रेड। पॉलिटिकल डायमेंशन को देखें तो पाकिस्तान इमेज, प्रेशर ऑन बोथ मुशर्रफ एंड सिविलियन गवर्नमेंट, डायलॉग, डेडलॉक। इकानमी को देखें तो $107 बिलियन लॉस, 1/3 इन इकोनॉमिक असिस्टेंस वाया CSF, पाक काउंटर इंसर्जेंसी फंड, इन्हांस्ड पार्टनरशिप एक्ट। सोशल को देखें तो कोलेटरल डैमेज, 70,000 डेथ्स ड्यूरिंग ग्लोबल वार ऑन टेरर। Recommendation for future line of action: good governance, proactive role in the Afghan peace process, enhancing constructive role of regional organization including SCO, SARC, ECO, policy of non-interference in Afghanistan, strategic dialogue with the US, regional development through PCEC। तो डियर स्टूडेंट्स, क्लास डिस्कशन के लिए टुडेज क्वेश्चन: हाउ पाकिस्तान कुड रेजिस्ट द डू मोर फेनोमेना थ्रू इट्स फॉरेन पॉलिसी, एंड देन पाकिस्तान शुड ज्वाइन अगेन ग्लोबल वार ऑन टेरर। तो डियर स्टूडेंट, ये पाकिस्तान की पोस्ट 9/11 फॉरेन पॉलिसी पे एक कंसाइज एंड प्रिसाइज लेक्चर था। इंशाल्लाह नए टॉपिक के साथ फिर मिलते हैं, तब तक अपना ख्याल रखिएगा। अल्लाह हाफ़िज़।